Meh. Meh. Hi, I think everything's fine. There we go. Okay. OBS changed after an update, or like several updates that I had neglected to, you know, update. And now everything looks different. Hello, everyone. We are finally back after me saying that I would stream more last week and then proceeded to not. I've gotten very good at doing the exact opposite of what I plan on doing, but you know. Hello, Scarf. Hello, Raphael. Okay, I think everything's fine. I'm just gonna wait a little bit for people to come in. On the bright side, they've updated the way the audio mixer looks, and now I can confirm that I am not indeed peaking the microphone every single time I talk. I am firmly within the yellow, which is exactly where my voice should be. Don't you just love it when half the map is completely unable to place down people? Which is fine for me, because I never, I very rarely put people far forward. I'm almost always defending the back line, so that works for me. And then you got the transverse plates, of which there is like, yeah, sure, you could put people there, but like, why? I suppose there could be like Lancer type people that run around for a little while, but no, even then it would, yes, it wouldn't. Yeah, for the chains, yeah, I mean, I suppose, but it's like, why? Like, I'm sure. Nah. Oh, then again, did the chain stop the guy, or does it just slow him down? Oh no, it's just when it faces the chain. So it does launch. So wrong one. I suppose technically if someone walks around here and they get snagged by a chain or something, it would, make them then do it. But at the same time, I could just have people here and then people at the back line there, and by the time they've flown over, it would be fine. So, what time is it? 15. Unchained Spectre. What's up with... What is this? Oh, that's weird. Okay. Strange thing happening between my OBS and my and my sort of like stream page on YouTube. That apparently they don't like each other. I could not care less about that. I'm fine with that, as long as the warning is just that and not literally anything else. Anyway, okay, I think I'm going to move in now that it's actually time. I'm going to stick with what I've got. It seems to work. I don't remember having Ethan. I could have swore I swapped him out. Oh well. "8 years ago, summer 1086. Residential district, the nomadic city of Kasdil. Kasdil. Remember the promise we made at the beginning of the lesson? Good. Keep your voice low when answering, and don't tell anyone about the classes. Tanker has been teaching you about our history for the past few months. As for myself, I've been struggling to decide what to teach you in our last lesson. Mathematics, language, agriculture, weapon making? What I've come to realize is that whatever I teach you won't truly change our lives. We've lived silently in despair for too long. The war 18 years ago never ended. The ghost of Lifanian's fleet continued to haunt those who experienced that war. Many died in despair, drowned in the fear of war and of being consumed by the black rocks that grew from their bodies. But our instincts drove us to seek a way to overcome despair. Some declared war on despair, on the outsiders who oppressed us, but they all fell short in the face of cruel reality. Came to see the contracts. I've never seen a more motivated mercenary than you. Are you trying to buy a mansion in Colombia or something? One should feel lucky just to be alive for so long. In that sense, I suppose your name is well deserved. I heard a bunch of jobs came in lately. Anything good? There are eyes on and in the city now. Things don't turn out well for the last few who took these jobs. It's Babel stuff. Are you sure you want to take part in that mess? Yeah, I trust my luck. Have it your way. There's a teacher in town who's been saying good things about Babel's outsiders. Someone is willing to pay to shut him up for good. Will do. I look forward to your surprises. Hope your luck doesn't run out today. The nomadic city of Kasdil. Kasdil. It has been a while since Good Luck came back. The city has changed a lot. People come and go. He is familiar with the words Babel and military commission. There are always people fighting over things that he does not understand. He does not understand why the Sarkaz feel the need to fight one another. He takes out the photo of the target. A mild-mannered young man. The triangular marking on his sleeve seems familiar. A teacher spreading praise about Babel's outsiders, inciting opposition against the military commission. Sorry, your luck just ran out today. Should be around here. Wait, this place. He's been away for a long time, but not long enough to forget his home. Oda's home. Ah, okay. Oda, you should not have gotten involved. I don't know if it's Oda or Oda, because obviously depending on whichever language that's from. We've gotten used to despair from one defeat after another at the hands of powers beyond our ability to resist. But we needed to convince ourselves that our despair was not self-inflicted, that it stemmed from an obvious source in our lives. That is what Babel has become for the people of this day and age. It was Babel who brought the enemies. It was Babel's medicine that worsened our oropathy. It was Babel's education that snapped our will to resist. It was Babel who deluded the king of Sarkaz and tricked us into giving up on collecting the blood debt from the outsiders rather. Babel is the source of all our despair. I see some of you nodding. No doubt you've heard the same from your parents. In desperate times, people often mistake hearsay for the truth. My mind was trying to read that as both hearsay and heresy at the same time. But is it the truth, though? Were our lives better without outsiders in Kasdal? Don't take anything at face value. See, think, and find your own answer. Words to live by in today's life as well. Yes, it's hard to leave Kasdal. The land outside is full of danger. Even making it to the border of the next country is no small feat. But I'll still leave this place. I'll go to Lifanian, Columbia, Kazimiezh, or to anywhere that I may find a way to change things. Then, I'll come back and teach you, and all the children of Sarkaz. What will happen to Babel, you ask? The future of Babel? Hide yourselves. Don't make a sound. I mean, let's be honest, that's got to be like one of the youngest teachers ever. Hello, are you looking for someone? Oh, hello. Sorry, I got the wrong door. Do you need help? I'm familiar with the area. He smiles. There is no panic in his eyes. Ascalon scans the sparsely furnished room and understands. Oh, hello, where did you come from? Did she just, like, peace out? Do you live here on your own? Yes. My name is Ascalon. I'm from Babel. Thank you for sheltering him, but you must leave. Oh, that was... Be careful. These are troubled times. You heard her. Someone knows you're here. You need to go. Not just the military commission, but also those mercenaries who've been bringing trouble to our doorstep. Ah, okay. Not gonna lie, I did kind of assume it was I don't know why I assumed Oda would be the teacher. I just thought, oh, that'd be quite funny, because, it can happen. I know. I'm very grateful to you for lending us your house to serve as a classroom. The children... I'll take them home, don't worry. You can continue your classes in a few days, once the storm has passed. There'll be no need. As I've said before, I'm ready to leave. I've already spent too much time here because I wanted to see the lessons through to the end. There are many places that I still need to see. Alright. Oh, don't forget the potatoes. They're from the children and me. It's not much, but they will serve as a few meals on the road. Thank you so much. All of you. I should be the one thanking you. I've learned a lot from you. For the past few years, Kasdal has grown faster than its education and public thinking can keep up. I fear that our powers will be our own destruction if we do not change the present situation. The conflicts we see in Kasdal now are a good example. This is not how the Sarkaz should be. I have yet to find a way to change all these, but I know that the answer does not lie within Kasdal. Goodbye, Oda. Goodbye. May your journey be safe and smooth. He's going to die immediately. Oda watches as the teacher disappears around the corner, but does not go in. He does not remember when it started, but he has a habit of sitting by the door, waiting for a familiar someone to return. Wind stirs the dust from the streets, and the dust stirs up his tears. There is not even a shadow. He gently closes the door. What, did you forget to get the milk or something? Oh dear. Good Luck sees the target leave the house. Then, he sees a familiar figure that he has not seen for a long time. His blade feels heavy. He cannot move. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm a lousy dad, but... He tightens his grip on the knife's hilt. He knows only one way to give Oda a better future. Looks like he's not coming back with the milk. Another one. A mist shrouds a corpse in the corner of the street, erasing all traces of its existence. Fucking hell, that's a bit rough. I mean, let's face it, we're used to that happening, but normally we don't know the mercenaries that happens to, or the mercenaries or bandits or whatever. Like, we're used to these people immediately getting just yeeted off the face of the planet the moment they try to kill someone who's part of Babel or Rhode Island, but this is the first time we actually know the person, and for it being so quick, it's sort of like, ooh, that was a bit of a culture shock. The passing of a life in Kasdel is akin to a speck of dust falling to the ground. Unheard, unceremonious, and unnoticed. His luck has run out. Oh, okay. How long do you plan on hiding there, Manfred? Or are you planning to stab me in the back now? Another mercenary. How many have you killed? Didn't see the point in keeping count. You could kill 1, 2, 100 even. But can you kill every single mercenary who accepts the contract? They just want to remind us that we've been complacent with the status quo for far too long. Using the lives of Babel members as a reminder. To remind whom? If you're gonna spout bullshit, at least know the responses to, like, the most basic questions that can be asked. He made a promise to Her Highness. Is this what he calls protection for Babel? All I see are crackdowns on Babel and mercenaries running wild. There are some things that should not be said aloud, especially not by you, Ascalon. If you don't like it, arrest me. Let's see if you've improved at all under his tutelage. I mean, considering this bloke... Oh no, it was the other one that taught you. Yeah, never mind. The General has taught me that there are more important things than violence. And by the looks of things, the mercenaries aren't the only ruthless cutthroats around here. Fucking bright. Oh. Stop dodging if you dare. I'll prove to their highnesses I can beat you. Too slow, Manfred. Wait. Ah. You're dead again. Get up. Yeah. Technically, you're not late. I started about 45 minutes early. I did put a warning out, but I probably should have, like, some sort of announcement or something in the Discord as well. Don't need you to tell me. Footwork, Manfred. And Ascalon, stop going for his head all the time. This is the most effective way. It's his own fault for getting hit. Well, that explains a lot about him and later on. If he can't dodge it, he has to learn to take it. If you can dodge a red, you can dodge a ball. You're right, Ascalon. But why did you stop? We didn't tell you to. I can take it, Your Highness. It's not over yet. Huh? I hit... Your Highness, I hit... Did you now? Let me down, Ascalon. Don't hurt him, Ascalon. God damn it. How did he even let her do that? Okay, I suppose to be fair, she does have some crazy speed, so maybe that is like a literal thing and not just a anime, oh, she's very fast kind of thing. That is both hilarious and adorable at the same time. Also, I just love the difference between the two, with Teresa's just sort of like, okay, be careful, it's just a sparring match, don't hit too hard, and then Manfred's just over here like, kick him in the balls, do your worst. Manfred's long limbs flail helplessly in the air, while his torso is tied to a wooden stake. God, just the face is so funny. Okay, yeah, it was just quickly. How did you do that so fast? Got my inspiration from the way Her Highness sews. Manfred wriggles to break free, but the more he squirms, the tighter the ropes hug him. He cannot understand how Ascalon can be so strong and fast, when she looks as thin and frail as him. Let me down! Look, I won again! Ascalon raises her weapon high and grins victoriously at the twin sovereigns. Ascalon has gotten a lot more cheerful. What are you thinking? They're different from the Arthur Sarkaz children. We can change them, but how can we reach all the children of Kazdel? Give me time. Babel can do it. Time is a luxury. I know, but education is not something that can be rushed. What we're doing is leaving hope for the next generation. The flame of hope will never go out, as long as a single teacher in Kazdel remains willing to share with these children the vision of a beautiful future. Just had to zoom in on that. Teresa casts her eye towards the two children, full of hope for the future. Well, I think at the moment one is full of despair. Well, are you going to admit defeat or not? No, let me down. We're not done. I'll let you down when you admit defeat. No way. I'll unbind you, Manfred. Oh, sorry, that was Teresa. Yeah, okay. No. Oh, come on, you're not bullying him too, Teresa, are you? Thank you, Your Highness. Whoa, why am I flying? Your Highness? Just like, hee hee. Alright, that'll do. Teresa, let him down. You've improved, but Teresa hasn't taught you everything he knows. You were always the faster learner, but ever since you left the General, you've been nothing but unadjusted and lost. He is disappointed in your departure, by the way. I may not be as good with words as you are, but at least I don't just ignore the insults against Her Highness Teresa. Do you really know Her Highness is... Oh, do you really know why Her Highness is so dedicated to Babel's... I kept trying to say Baddle, I'm like, where? Babel's ideals? Do you really know why the General hasn't openly denounced the attacks on Babel? You should have talked to him, rather than turning your back on him. I turned my back? You're the ones who turned your backs on Her Highness and the voices of so many. It's Teresa who has turned a blind eye to the mercenaries' acts of violence and the damage they've caused Babel. This much I know. The General has allowed it precisely because he can't ignore the voices of the majority. If the fate of the Sarkaz is doomed to fall into the abyss, what's wrong with using more effective means to prevent it? So that's what you truly think. It's what most of us in Kazdel think. It's not that I don't trust Her Highness. Anyone can promise a better future, but we can't ignore the reality before it. Isn't it crueler to use violence to force a child to shake hands and make peace with the murderer who just killed his father? Say whatever you want. I'll keep my hands off the military commission, but if you try to act through the mercenaries, then my job is simple. No more mercenaries, no more problems. Ascalon. If you have the time, go visit Her Highness. I've never seen her so tired. A puff of mist is the only sign that she was ever there. Manfred looks down and wipes away the blood slowly seeping out of his chest. He sighs and turns into the empty street, only to spot the deceased mercenary's effects. Someday, we will all understand. All understand how stupid you lot were? It was never Her Highness or the General who made the choice. Oh, please. Who's there? He hesitates before the door. It has been a busy day at this old ramshackle house, from the teacher to the multiple visitors. Who could it be outside the door? His father finally returned? Yeah, about that. And if so, what should he say? He has learned so much from the teacher that he wants to share with his father, whose visits back home have become less and less frequent. He takes a deep breath, collects his mind, and puts on a calm face and opens the door. Hello? Good evening. Can I help you, sir? You know who I am? No, sir, but I know the uniform of the military commission. Just a routine inspection. Do you recognize these items? This is my father's. There have been some disturbances in the city, and I'm afraid your father... I'm so sorry. Where did you find them? Was there... There was nothing else left at the scene. I'm sorry. What's your name? Oda. If you need any help... No, I'm very grateful that you brought these back. It's been a long time since I last saw him. This is enough. I don't have to wait anymore. He's not coming back. I guess this explains why he still looks the same as a playable operator, even though it was technically, like, you know, a couple of decades ago that we saw the that flashback. I guess, I don't know, how does that work? Either it's just very baby-faced, or that particular branch of Sarkaz have like a very slow aging span. I don't have to wait anymore. He's not coming back. Do you have family or friends you can count on? I can take care of myself. Besides, we see things like this every day in the city, no? I'm sorry I gushed, sir. I just feel like I know you, somehow. Yeah, about that. I'm sure you're busy. I won't keep you any longer. Most Sarkaz are like that, no? I don't know. I know most Sarkaz have long lifespans, but it seems like they age, or rather they grow, I should probably say. They grow at the same pace. So, like Ascalon and Manfred, they are the age that you would expect them to be, or they look the age you would expect them to be for how long it's been. Him, on the other hand, doesn't. I mean, again, he could just be short and look babyface, but I'm still under the assumption that him in particular, that group of Sarkaz grow slower, maybe? I don't know, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, there's some. My condolences. The door closes. Manfred can hear the sounds of sobbing coming from behind the door. But he doesn't feel sorrow. Not anymore. Oda's right. He has seen this too many times. Yet he remembers this is not what the city was meant to be. Okay, they are starting to get shorter then. Ironic how Sarkaz have very long lifespans, but don't really live that long because of infection or war. Yeah.
You people, I don't think I'll even remember your faces after this one. Anyway, let's just get started.
I didn't quite do that right. Oh well.
Solid positioning.
There's the ice skaters. Oh, that's right. They have physical dodge, don't they? Oops. Oh, I would. I literally called that earlier. I was saying, why would you have anyone in that middle there unless there was like people running around? Wow, okay. Apollo came in clutch. You know what? Okay, yeah, I probably should have something there.
Can you do it?
How am I going to do this, though? Okay, someone's going to die because I'm not going to be able to put people down fast enough.
Death is in my
Oh, come on, that's bullshit. Ah. Okay, I'm gonna... Now that I know what it is, because I always find those annoying.
I'm fine. Get it together, everyone.
Why did they not get... Were they already mid-animation when I dropped her in? Because I could have swore that would have made them pause, but it didn't seem to affect them. Okay, yeah, no, they don't avoid it. I must have been too late in doing it. What I will do, though...
The wall moved right before your eyes. No, you're exaggerating. Definitely.
I'll complete my mission to the best of my ability.
Now I wonder...
行くよ。嵐のように蹂躙してやる。君たちのために地獄の一等地に部
Okay,
屋
I'm
を
gonna
用
put
意してお
one
く。
there.
安心していってらっしゃい。
I should have done that at the very beginning, but I'm always an idiot.
Hey, dummies, bring it on! Whew. We're counting on you again today, little apple.
Okay, I'm just gonna do that for now.
Just as planned.
How far... Oh, I can't remember how far the chains go. I'll see in a moment.
Here.
Two tiles, okay. So yeah, okay.
Gotcha.
Here we go.
Gather around me, guys.
Here.
Oh, I thought you were the one that was... We've got 5, 6, 7.
Fear not! Here I come! Here, out of my way!
Damn, okay. Oh, because I forgot to put down an extra bind. That's unfortunate. Okay, yeah, I'm going to need to do that differently.
Doctor, hold on tight to my shoulders. Don't go blaming me if you fall off.
That's a bit embarrassing that I'm getting stuck on this, because it's literally like an easy stage, but it's been so long since I've had to deal with those guys. I think I'm fine with what I've got, to be honest. I just need to maybe have... Yeah, I'm going to move where...
Let's go!
Yeah, start with that,
Speaking of which,
just so it's already
what was our
there.
objective again? Don't worry, you got me.
Yeah, that is true. The problem is, though, the other guys have physical dodge, which is annoying. I think it was physical dodge. I'm fairly certain it was.
Hey, dummy, bring it. I have to get serious now.
Okay, so I'm going to do
Fear
that.
not! Here I come!
Wait, hang on.
I'll charge the weak spot!
Damn it, I forgot to change the thing again. so I'm just going to do that. Because only some of them...
Please relax. It'll be over in an instant.
Whew. We're counting on you again today, little apple.
Do that.
Ready to move.
I'll do that. Yeah, now this is getting better. Okay, this is better. And there's no... fucking execution right there. There's no ranged as far as I can tell, so I don't have to worry about her being healed.
Go ahead. Target locked. I'll try space me!
Okay, this is how I was supposed to do it. I did not correct the last stage blunder. I was supposed to, and then I forgot about it. I've been really bad at playing Arknights consistently. Recently, I just have not been logging in as much as I normally would. That guy is going through the ringer at the moment. There we go. That's the difference. That guy... So they're over there, I should have been slowing them down as well, but it's not really... It doesn't make any difference. Yeah, they're pretty much done so.
Doctor? Kick ass!
Okay, there we go. See, that's how it was supposed to be done. Alright, another day in Mordor. The nomadic city of Kazdel. Kazdel. Let me through. Oh, there we go. They got the actual people. This area is off limits. What happened? Are you with Babel? No. Then it's none of your business. The wall of royal court soldiers prevents Oda from passing. But he sees several familiar, crying faces in the scattered crowd. Those students. I think I can take this alley here. Oh, those students, rather. Excuse me, do you know what happened? Someone beat another guy to death. He's dead, too. Are you trying to join the racket? Babble again. What was Her Highness thinking? Shut your trap. You owe everything you eat, everything you wear, and the roof over your head to Her Highness. Shush. Well, it's simple enough, all right. A teacher beat the father of his student to death. A teacher? How could... All the man did was scold him a little, and it was the teacher who was telling the kids all sort of awful things. That's not true. If you were Babelshul too? Kids these days. Hey, what are you doing? Oda squeezes through the crowd and sees some familiar faces lying on the ground. He finally finds the source of the commotion, the teacher lying in a cloud of dust. Teacher, what's going on? I didn't mean to hurt his father. Hang in there, I'll find a doctor. No. Over there, him. Oda looks in the direction of the dying man. The dying man is pointing. and sees an injured child crying by the lifeless body of his father. Oda runs through the burning streets, carrying the injured child in his arms, and pieces together the whole picture from what he sees and hears. It began when the agitated teacher accidentally killed an agitated father, before he was set upon by an angry crowd and fell in the dust of the streets. The turmoil dragged everyone in, civilians, Babel, mercenaries, even the military commission. Like a chain reaction, clouds of dust were stirred up in the various corners of the city. It wasn't until artillery from an unknown source blasted through the wall of Babel's office building that the Royal Court troops finally quelled the riot. It began with an accident and ended with a shell that caused more damage to Babel than anything in the past 18 years since the end of the war. The kid is hurt and needs a doctor. Don't make me do this the hard way. Whose side are you on? Babel? The military commission? Neither. I just need to get him to a doctor. Now get out of my way. My dad. It's too late for him. I'm sorry. Go. But don't trust outsiders so easily, Sarkaz. Not in this chaos. Thank you. Oda can feel the child's breathing grow weaker as he continues on his way. Running through the streets, he seems to feel someone brush past his shoulder, but sees no one. Ascalon? That's the only person I can think of. Oh, okay, never mind. Or baby... Was I imagining things? Small ghost. Stop right there. Not one step closer. There are patients inside. This kid needs medical attention now. But... oh, I didn't think there was anyone still willing to bring patients here. Alright, I'll take it from here. I'll try to give you some extra medicine before we leave. He's gonna walk out. He's gonna walk away, and the building's gonna explode, or something like that, isn't it? It's gonna be like everyone starts getting targeted. Leave? Her Highness made a decision, but we all know what's happening. We're not welcome in Kazdal anymore. Where are you going? Outside the city? Aren't you afraid of the dangers in the wastes? Yes, I am. But if the city no longer welcomes us, then we respect its choice. I want to join Babel. I can care for the patients, or protect you. Well, now we know how he came in. Is this the one who started the whole mess? Will he live? Don't think so. Lost too much blood. And what are we even doing here? Just follow the General's orders and don't ask questions. Who'd have thought something so minor would lead to their Highness's statement? Ugh. Oh, sorry, that was the teacher. Is he trying to talk to us? There's nobody else around. Probably just seeing things before he dies. No Banshee would sing an elegy for such a sinner. Oh, funny you should say that. It's dangerous. Go. They can't see me. My art hides my presence. You know, that explains quite a lot. So Oda is one of the OGs of Rhode Island. Yeah, which is kind of surprising, really, considering how late he's in. But I suppose, to be fair, there's loads of original Babel members that aren't playable yet anyway. But still, it's quite funny seeing some of the quote-unquote newer characters, or like newer in terms of the playable, but especially in Oda's case, who is new, like character-wise as well. And then seeing that they've actually been here the whole time, just somewhere in the background. Who are you? A student. I came from far away, following in the footsteps of my mother, to find answers in this wandering city and her two rulers. Did you find... I'm afraid the city doesn't have the answers ready yet. But I found you. The ideas that you advocated were very interesting. I was with you when you taught those children in the basement, learning about the city of Babel. City of Babel, Jesus. Of course, no one noticed, except Ascalon. The boy has been brought to Babel where his injuries will be treated. Do you regret your end? No. The boy defended me. Ah. He understood what I tried to change. Sorry about his father. I sympathize. It was not your intention to cause this tragedy, but fate has played a cruel joke on you. I hear crying. This is your elegy. Is it elegy or elegy? Elegy. Calling your fading soul to the other side. Fear not. Hesitate not. The myriad souls welcome you with open arms. Let my song take you beyond. Thank you. The young Banshee's song soothes the mind of the dying man. The gentle song echoes through the crowded streets of the city. Banshees respond to the song of their young kin, adding their voices to the harmony. Probably the most depressing, oh, what's it called? You know those, like, when people start playing music in a crowd? Like, all of a sudden, like, you know, one person starts and another person, like, he keeps going. It is an elegy that commemorates the passing of an ordinary sarcasm. You were talking about the future of Babel in the lesson. Flash mob, yes. But you didn't get to the end. What were you going to say? I believe that Babel will die someday. I hope I'm wrong. Okay, she's still alive. I thought she might have died at this point because of him saying, following in his mother's footsteps. A song. Another sarcasm has passed on in the turmoil. There is no longer any place for Babel here. I will lead them and leave this city. Teresa, we love you. All of us. I know, but Babel has no choice. But if you leave, my people have made their choice. Neither I nor Teresa can change it. We cannot abandon hope, but the best course of action right now is to avoid conflict. I'm assuming this is still I'm assuming this is still before the sort of like civil war type thing that was happening in Kasdel. Hatred will swallow us like a flood. You've always known, Teresa, our hero, our king. Gentle requests and gradual changes will not sway the minds of the sarcasm drawn here by Kasdel's rise. Basically just before... That does make sense. So she leaves, essentially exiling herself, and I guess people didn't like that, and then people side with... would side with Teresa, seeing him as being the better leader, or the actual leader, the one that said something, and that's sort of how it goes. Lacquer, perhaps what I say will disappoint, even hurt you, Teresa. Rim Billington, Sargon, even Columbia, you have opened their doors and allowed the Sarkaz to negotiate with some as equals. Terra has seen more technological progress in 50 years than it has for a millennia. But we are too slow, or we were too slow rather. Despite the incredible changes you've brought to Kasdel, there haven't been enough to bear the fruits of true transformation. Even if I too believe that the fruits of spring are near. Is this the stance of the Banshee court? I'm just a mother who came to see her boy off, Teresa. I respect his choice, and there will come a day when he will speak of our royal court. But that is not today. I know you love him. You haven't allowed yourself to age since he was born. That's a thing. Athanel was a miracle to me, and to all Banshees. I'm guessing that's Logos' actual name. The day he was born, I became loath to age with time. I have preserved my appearance at the peak of my beauty. I wish to remain eternal in his memory. My life is finite, of course. It's only the facade that never changes. Fair. I'm fairly certain she is already dead by the time we're at the current point in the timeline. Because he's already, like, Lord of Banshees, if I remember correctly. Or, like, technically is. I know what your Highness is thinking. You never expected your dream to come true in this generation. You see yourself as the soil, and not... Oh, and it's not the soil's due to witness the flowers bloom. Even if the two of you have to give everything to nourish the soil. Humour my little self-indulgence, Your Highness. Until he finds the answer he is seeking, allow him to travel between the two of you, and learn from both of you. He will be the first sprout to emerge from the soil. Bring Athanel and take care of him, rather. Protect him in my place. I will. Lacquer, my friend. Thank you. No matter where you go, no matter what fate awaits either of you, the Banshee Court will sing both your elegies and announce to all, this is my promise. It is the most ancient and powerful of witchcrafts, my final parting gift to you. Lacquer, will we meet again? I hope so. Until next time then, I look forward to the day I can hear you sing in the mists of the Convalis. Farewell, Your Highness. I'm afraid I must stay here and go no further. Athanel will be part of your procession. After all, and I'm not ready to say goodbye to him yet. Hello, Code. Two days later. How long do you plan on standing there? You came a little too early, if it's Teresa you're looking for. I didn't think you would have the courage to come to me, Ascalon. Why? Do you mean why wouldn't you have the courage to see me? Or why I banished Babel? You've seen Manfred? A little bit more than that. Yes. Did you do it? Not all the way. Good. Now, remove yourself before you say something childish and naive. Not even Teresa would agree with you. Or you could choose to stay. You don't have to explain yourself. After all, you've never formally joined Babel. Her Highness needs someone to protect her. She is more powerful than you think. And I agree with you even less, Master. I suppose I should take that as a no. You and Manfred are my best students, yet both of you have your fatal flaws. Your talents in combat are peerless, but what do you truly believe in? Your Highness, impatience. I said, what you truly believe in, not me nor Teresa. You still don't know what you seek, do you? To protect? That's just empty, self-deceptive sentimentality. When you're unsure of your path, you merely project your motivations onto vague ideals. I thought about it carefully. Perhaps. Then follow Teresa and protect her, but don't blindly adopt her ways. Think for yourself. Manfred found his answer long before you did. The next time we see each other... Well, wait, hang on, what's Manfred's fatal flaw? Oh, I suppose maybe his was impatience as well. Maybe that was the thing, but still. Never mind. Go, Ascalon. There is nothing else for us to talk about now. Ascalon falls to one knee, then turns into a mist that closes around Theresis. The mist trembles and disperses, leaving behind only a stone knife in Theresis's hand. He recalls the day that he snatched the blade from the child in the catastrophe. You were too cold to her, Theresis. It's the time of parting. You could have shared your mind with her. She has never been adept at expressing emotion. As a teacher, you're better than me at reaching the teenager side of her. Do you really have no faith in her choice? She is welcome back at any time. Manfred remains too complacent in his training. He needs someone to challenge him, a goal to work towards. I'll tell her. I wish she would come back too. I know. If we cannot resolve a minor conflict like this, the next one could escalate into a full-fledged civil war. About that. If it comes to that, all we have dreamed of for a century will be for naught. If that day comes, and if I have to, I will kill you. Babel is ready. We will leave with those who are willing to follow. You've always kept them close. Yes, because they need me. I need you too. Kasdel needs its king. Theresis, our people have made their choice. The best course of action, for now at least, is for Babel to back down. I will continue to call the nourishing rain upon Kasdel, change the city's circumstances, and wait for hatred to subside. But if you become the greatest threat to the searching dreamers in this long and painstaking process, I will destroy you. So be it. I feel like as far as sibling oaths go, this is probably the worst. Mercenaries and royal court soldiers line the streets, holding back a restless crowd. It was the King of Sarkaz who brought food and shelter. It was also the King of Sarkaz who allowed oppression and hatred to fester. The Babel procession stretches as far as the eye can see, past the barricades formed by lines of royal court soldiers, past the disdainful crowd. Theresis walks towards the crowd and stands with them. He has left Teresa's side for the first time in 2 centuries. We all know what we must face. I hope this will not be the last time we stand together. Will that day be far? Not too far. Teresa joins the silent procession. Their farewell to the city is soundless. Their path is one of hope. Then, something occurs, enough to silence the restless onlookers and momentarily halt the procession. The cursing and crying cease. Every eye turns to a single poignant scene. A mercenary steps out of the line to embrace his best friend in the procession. No one can hear the whispers exchanged between the two friends by the ruins of Babel, but all are willing to wait and give them a moment of farewell. A farewell between the people and their city, and between two peoples of the same blood. A young Sarkaz who has lost everyone he holds dear walks in the procession without regret. He remembers walking the same path, leaving the city in search of his parents with his older companion many years ago. Dad, I believe that there has to be another way than war. Mum, I know you believed in Babel because you hope for a different way to live. Goodbye, Mum and Dad. Goodbye, home. Oh, that got a bit difficult towards the end. For Teresa's eyes only. I have heard of what happened in Kasdel, and share your sense of loss. The city holds special meaning to us all. This reads like Calcit. But Babel need not drift on the wastelands, for I have located the ship I previously mentioned in Rimbilliton. The excavation went smoothly, and the ship's basic functions have been restored after 2 years of work. It will carry the hopes of Babel into the future. Please, wait for me, Teresa. P.S. I did find it on the ship. A legacy that could bring upheaval to this land. The Silverlight Eterna? Because so far that hasn't been mentioned at all. Given its importance, I feel it's crucial to discuss this matter with you in person. With hope, Calcit.
I managed to help a little, didn't I?
You weren't even deployed. Sorry, I mean, you're great, but I don't think I've set you down once so far. The Doctor? Maybe, but I kind of feel like, no. Surely that was already... I don't know. It sounded more like they were talking about a thing, which made me think of the, the crown. Because like I said, so far it hasn't really been mentioned. Okay. This basically just sums up the entirety of this event. Things have not gone according to plan. Awakening in exhaustion. Wow, that is a difficult... Awakening in... I love how some of these stage names, not like the actual titles, but the letters and numbers, you could use those to make like Star Wars droids. Ah, here we go. Ah, Priestess. It's been literally like a year since I last seen you. I prepared a gift for you, Calm. Isn't it someone that says I've prepared a gift for you? Like, as like an actual line in the game. What do you hear? This is... Is it like the conch from SpongeBob? Do you remember? This is the polarization formed when AMA 10 was born. You said you found a rhythm within its wavefront. Of course, I added a little personal touch. Blue poison, yeah. I was about to say, because I almost even read it in the same way. I've prepared a gift for you. I adjusted the direction of the planetary tracks. Yeah, that is planetary tracks. Array to capture different echoes. The harmony is derived from the lingering neutrinos of extinguishing stars. As for the orchestrator, I used the gravitational folds left behind when the ship sailed through the Stargate. I'm assuming AMA10 is Amia, isn't it? Isn't that the name of the crown? Isn't that the name of the module? No? Oh. Oh, it's Calcit's one. Okay, never mind. God damn it, I always confuse the two. Which one is Amia's then? Which one is Amia's module? Because I swear they have a similar... Didn't you read? I did, but like I said, they're so fucking similar. Because it's a series of letters dash number, and I think it's the same for both of them. Starts with D something something. Right, yeah. See, that's the issue I have. I always get them mixed up. Oh, I knew you'd like it. The universe is singing. Even at this moment, it's still as touching as ever. Fun fact, this is actually real. But this violates the norms we set ourselves, Priestess. These facilities should have kept operating on the preset path. So this is before everything, then. Does that mean we're older than Calcit? Fuck. Maybe we should be the old well. The stars are losing their colour. This world no longer has norms, doesn't it? This place will fall silent soon, almost like we've never been here. Come walk with me, before the silence comes. The grand silence? Or the great silence, whatever it's called. I hope we'll get to see this world's future with our own eyes together. Oops. We will. I will wait for you in that world. Well, now I'm wondering if that flashback when we saw the priestess, you know, like hold our hand and all that, if that was at this point or if that was after, but before the amnesia. Because we did see the Doctor in Arknights, so he was around. Oh yeah, we also saw him collapsed next to what's-her-face, next to Teresa. So, like, a lot sooner than Arknights. So now I'm wondering if that flashback was from before when he went into the stasis chamber in Chernobyl, or if it was further back than that, because obviously there's no way to tell with flashbacks, because unless it tells you what time it is, it could be any point in the past. "4 years ago." Oh, no, that's right, it's... Wait, no, isn't it 1100 already? Or at the very least, 1099, if we're following the Victoria arc. So it should be... Huh? Okay, whatever. 4 years ago, summer 1090. Rhodes Island of Babel, Casdell. Hey! Wait, why does it say you are online? That's the first time I've noticed that. That would be the exact opposite. Phew, finally done retrofitting the electrical wiring. And now we're going to be able to withstand any impact. I think. How dare Calcit make me work 48 hours non-stop. Once all this is over, I'm going to tell Her Highness on her. Ah, man. Confirmed within the landship's communications range. Signals clear. The mini bases you hid around are great closure. Of course. Not even Her Highness has seen anything this handy. Maybe it was 4 years before the first scene. Ah, maybe, yeah. If they're using that as the focal point, then I guess that makes sense. Is their so-called research finished? The energy surge caused by the last couple rounds almost got Rhode Island into a stall. Almost got Rhode Island to stall, rather. Ah, the same thing. I'm still reinforcing the landship for the next impact. You know how much I racked my brains to cover up the landship's movement? Like, what if the military commission's spines caught wind? Relax. I already eliminated all our targets nearby. Just focus on your preparations. Scout, report. The infiltration mission is complete. I'm sending the intel back to Babel. What's the situation inside the city? Not much has changed over the past few years. Not many catastrophes, very little movement. Our situation is not very optimistic, actually. If the military commission continues to shrink our strategic space... Let's trust Her Highness and Dr. Calcit. You're right. They've spent so much time preparing for today's experiment just to turn the tide. Right, Scout. Have you gotten your hands on the equipment? I was keeping at my place. I've already entrusted it to a messenger to take to Babel. Awesome! With the secret weapon Calcit and I knocked out together, we'll definitely crack that weird control system on the ship. I'll rendezvous with the messenger and confirm the package's risk level before bringing it to the landship. We've been investigating the agent behind our missing engineer too. The threat against the landship hasn't been fully eliminated yet. Closure, I brought you even more materials, just like you asked. They're so heavy. Thanks, Oda. It looks like now I can make more safety equipment for Her Highness and Calcit. And I should install an extra line for backup. I hope there won't be any unexpected surprises this time. Do you need any help, Closure? Oh, you should hurry and evacuate to a safe zone. With everybody else. The next wave of impacts is probably going to be in 30 minutes. It just pieces out. Now everything's all ready. I'm kind of curious. Just what kind of secret experiments are Calcit and Her Highness running? They even need to mod the energy and defense modules. Not to mention those weird tests. A certain black and red energy? There is no one with a better understanding of Originium. If you want to solve the suffering caused by Originium, there is no better candidate for the job. The news you bring is so surprising, even for the King of Sarkaz. Are those devices really still working? Are you confident about the resurrection? The vast majority of life forms on Terra can't resist corrosion that spans such a long stretch of time. The Terra we see today is no doubt a miracle, and so are you, Teresa. But in the past, the whole solar system revolving around the sun was insignificant in their eyes. You seem a little tense. And I'm also a little anxious and nervous. Is there anything else that worries you? Yes. but I can't tell you. It's okay. Sorry, I shouldn't have distracted you. Focus, I can feel it. Calcit, you love this name, don't you? I've forgotten almost everything else about those days. But I still remember how, in that distant past, somebody gave me this name. Calcit. That was the last time we ever met. Oh. I wonder what it means. Calcit, I do not have much time left. Search for all traces of life. Search for hope in the future. Calcit, go, find your own answer. Find yourself. Damn, sad Calcit. Then why hesitate? I know what you mean. It's just... I've had a premonition, worry, or perhaps a conjecture. At the starting point of this land, at a certain point in time when life had only started budding, something that can never be reversed happened here. And I don't know what it is. If it's someone that even Dr. Calcit can put her full faith in, then I'm not one bit worried. So I'm guessing the reason we were called Ghost of Babel in, what's it called? Arknights. I'm wondering if we were still on the ship. As in, like, you know, in a stasis pod or something. Besides, considering how cautious you are, the safety measures that you prepared well ahead of time have never allowed me to worry. I'm sorry to say this, Teresa. This alone, no matter how many contingency measures I prepare, I still can't confidently say anything is conclusive. Teresa, I can't guarantee that I will always make the most rational decisions. And this time, I want to believe. Then, what do you want? Oh, then do what you want to. I'll be here with you. Doxical. Calcit's hand touches the door that has stood silently still for a cryptically long stretch of time. A new wave of tremors reaches Rhode Island. The door loosens. Originium will become the beacon condensed by our civilization. If one day other life forms in the universe lose their homeland and seek a way to resolve their plight, they will witness that we once shined, we once resisted, and this is where we rest. We once delivered a gift to those who came after us before our annihilation. Hope. So I'm wondering if we made Originium or if the priestess made it. Because at the moment I'm thinking it's either of those. Ooh. Oh, it's this music. Wasn't this in Colombia? Unknown language. This place. Is it time already? No. Warning. Unknown power activated. Warning. PRTS access detected. Warning. PRTS access PRTS access reset complete. Administrator permissions confirmed. All communication module channels open. Communications receiver module overclocking procedure completed. Search. Persevere. No signal. Search. Cerulean Arbor. No signal. Search. Celestial Fulcrum. No signal. These were all of the things that were on the trailer. Search. No signal. Search complete. No signal detected on any channel. God, this is almost as foreboding as when we were listening to the messages from the crypt in the Columbia event, and it was like trying to... Oh, Preserver. Yeah, sorry, I misread that. And we were like, and it was like trying to contact all the other places. I do wonder what the Stargates are. I'm wondering if it's like an FTL thing, like the Mass Effect thing, or like EVE Online. I'm wondering if it's one of those sorts of things, or if it's literally a portal. I think it was... No, they said a ship went through it, so I'm assuming it's like a FTL drive thing. Would you like to retry? No. Answer. Just... me. How long has it been? Searching progress logs. Latest update: 4,755,954 days ago. Abnormal vital signs detected. Loading restoration module. Restoring. Did I wake up too early? Or too late? Hello, Azur. What stage has Originium reached? Searching Originium inspection history data. No response. Well, that was days, not years. Originium inspection module is disconnected. Terra. Why save all these redundant information? This isn't recorded in the database. A new language? A new civilization is born? It's just me. What about her? Priestess. Your... God damn it. I mean, hey, good on her for remembering how to speak the language like 13,000 years later. I left Spain for like a year and I immediately forgot all the Spanish. I can answer your question. I saved those data in parts in advance. A hint of unfamiliarity, perplexity, and vigilance flashed in the eyes of the person stuck in the past. Calcit senses it from the glare of the person's sarcophagus. Likewise, Teresa senses Calcit's nervousness. Wait. You've changed a fair bit. The person inside the sarcophagus feels like they have just woken up from a short dream. The life form that bid them farewell prior to sleep is still here, by their side. But you never left. No. From the moment I left this place until now, when I am standing here before you again. I have wandered for thousands of years. However, I have never forgotten the question you left me. Calcit waits uneasily. She needs to make sure. She needs to make sure that her hope has not gone through some kind of horrible change. That was not a question. That was what I looked forward to. Then, have you found the meaning of your life yet? 42? Calcit. Discovering the meaning in the continuation of life, it's a path that I will have to keep walking. You still remember? I still remember. To me, it was like yesterday when we said goodbye to each other, and it also seemed like an eternity. But to you, there was never a moment when I forgot all that you have done for me. Aside from my life, you granted me one other thing that I found most precious: freedom. Please, just Doctor will do, Calcit. Let me get our first. You are still very weak. I can help. No need. Calcit, I still have many questions. What has become of Originium? I couldn't find any records. It still grows on the continent outside. So I woke up too early. You've suffered, Calcit. I can tell from your eyes. You woke me up because you need my help? Yes, we need your help. I see. That devil? Oh, damn, even man's just woke up. I guess to be fair, coming from a world in which there were no animal parts and horns and all that, you see a person with horns, you probably would say devil or demon. So at least in that case, it's probably more general ignorance. Unless I'm overanalyzing that. I can see from your friend behind you that not only has Originium found an unexpected way to exist, she also possesses, yes, Civil Light Eterna. Oh, I'm an idiot. No, she already had it on her. The course of this civilization is very complicated. What's her name? Does their civilization have anything like that used to refer to individuals? Teresa. Teresa. The Awakened One. That's a cool name. That basically just sounds like a new Dark Souls game player name. You know, like you've got the Ashen one, you got the whatever the other one was called. The Awakened One walks up to Teresa and holds out two arms, showing the palms of those hands. Teresa extends her hands to lightly hold the hands of the one from the past. The Doctor feels warmth. Yes, Teresa. This is the moment two civilizations make contact with one another. Yet, Teresa can see sadness in the eyes of this Doctor from eras long ago. From eras long gone, same thing. And she feels no warmth from the hands she is holding. I mean, he was like a popsicle stick for like literally 50 or 1,000 years or something. 13,000 years. Originium and you together. Mans is learning quickly. You speak our language. I learned from records, not hard. Unbelievable. I was thinking about learning your language. Kelsit said my world is lost. Languages of the past should stay in the past. Will someone tell that to Latin? I am curious about your kind. You found and even entered Civil Light Eterna. I want to ask you everything about your civilization. That's the only way I can find traces of my world, the world of the past. It would be funny if it turns out that lore is also part of the previous civilization, which I think it's already been hinted at anyway. And Civil Light Eterna and lore are two sides of different means that people were trying to make in order to protect their civilization from falling. But because they conflict, the Sarkaz and the Sancta would never work, because lore sees that and those that follow Civil Light Eterna and says, no, that's inefficient, they're bad. Because that would be an interesting thing if it turns out that it's two conflicted methods of trying to save civilization that's just made it like that. Because, you know, we're presuming that Civil Light Eterna has been with the Sarkaz for the whole time. Unless it was just Teresa. I can't quite remember that one. But I feel like it was before as well. But still, it would be interesting if that was the case. I understand. Because could you imagine that? Like a... Would it be civilization or racial? But, you know, basically fundamental differences between the Sarkaz and Sancta, but those differences extend beyond either of their civilizations, either of their races or species in general. And is that a thing that was already happening, like, millennia ago? Doctor, is that how you say it? Please forgive me. Keep holding my hands. I will show you. Like the androids and robots in Nier. Didn't the law never really say no to Sarkaz, but because the first Saint said no, so the next gen just ran with that? I can't remember. I know that the split between Sarkaz and Sancta is because some Sarkaz became Sancta and the rest and the others didn't want to follow, which I suppose kind of mirrors Christianity, where you got the people who converted to it and then the people who decided to stick with the original, and that didn't work too well for the people who stuck with the original either. Oops. Anyway, that's kind of what that bit reminded me of, but I don't know what else happens after that, or at least I can't remember right off the top of my head right now. But I have a feeling that lore itself also, because surely at this point Lore would have said, I'm fine with it. I don't know. I'm just thinking anyway. I remember that it wasn't the rest said no, but the Sancta Baal. Yeah. Either way, it's mainly more just an interesting concept that I've got in my head at the moment. The Doctor cannot help but be attracted to the eyes of this creature that looks like a devil. Through her eyes, the one who lost a world sees life. Ah, Lake Shibbolibba. I mean, I'm assuming it's not, but still, that was the image that they used for it. Civilization is born from the instinct of living beings. It's survival of the fittest. Natural selection. This is how the cycle of life is formed. A burden beast accidentally fell beneath the ice, pushes a small cub up from the water with its head. The small burden beast staggers on the ice and walks toward the hunters, who are waiting afar for their bait. It's coming this way. Get ready. The hunter grabs the starving burden beast cub before the ice cracks beneath them. Good. At least we managed to save one. Rebellion. Going against our survival instinct is the catalyst of our civilization's evolution. And curiosity. Curiosity is what we burn our lives away for. The staircase that allows our civilization to proceed forward. A pioneer chasing the stars is pushing forward with his fallen ally on his back. You dipshit. Why can't you keep at it just one more day? The newspapers already said that it was the crashed aircraft of the Riots, not a shooting star. But you just had to get to the bottom of it. Oh, so that's the parents then. As in, the crash was the parents, not these people. They were failures who crashed from the sky. What was there to risk your life for? Those rocks that fell onto the land? What do you want to prove to me? I, too, once saw within the black crown the sun getting engulfed, with darkness shrouding the whole continent. But even in its darkest hour, there were still those who tried to light up the night. It's still black. The sun really is dead. The sun's been dead for too long. We gotta save it. If the sun doesn't live, how are we going to hold our tail thickness contest? But how? We climb the tallest mountain and raise the torch up high and hold it back. And raise the torch up high to light it back up. What if our arms get tired? Then we'll build a statue of me, and my statue will hold up the torch instead. That literally sounds like how civilization is made, to be honest with you. Like, that is immediately a origin myth right there. Like, that is literally an origin myth. Like, the sun exists because some guy made a statue to hold a light up and it created a new sun, and that is the sun that we have today. Like, you know, that is literally... Like, that could easily fit in with the, is it Aztec or Mayan? That one, which has, like, numerous suns, and we're on, like, sun 7 or something. Good idea. We can build my statue next to yours and hold up another torch, too. Then, if your torch goes out, my torch can light yours. Again, that's literally an origin mythos. That's amazing. With fire comes light, and it is light that guides us towards hope. And my kin see death as a different interpretation of hope. After your body's destruction, to become one with the city within the soul furnace as flames is an honour bestowed only to those who are most respected. They will grow as Originium crystals and become one with Kazdel. The newborn will grow among the fluttering dust and continue their march forward, with hardships in tow amid the chorus of the myriad souls. I wonder if that's how Originium is supposed to be used then, as like a data storage thing, which is why it's got energy in it. And then it also seems to be the case that it grows in people as well. There's the biological data storage, and then that's where the myriad souls come from. Which then makes me wonder, maybe the Sarkaz have got it right. Even though it doesn't really, you know, it kills them, but still. The sun exists because some dude bros wanted to hold a tail thickness contest and it was too dark. I mean, that isn't any stranger than half of the origin mythos, to be fair. Progress mixed with ignorance. The cycle continues and repeats over and over. So beautiful. So nostalgic. You're kind. Terra seems to have gotten back on the right track and achieving enlightenment. How is ignorance defined? How do we prove the progress of enlightenment? In the way I see it, all of this is part of our civilization. But the things you showed me, most of them are extremely different compared to your race. Conquerors and the conquered, both have been branded with erasable marks, inerasable rather, by this land throughout the evolution of civilization. For the sake of survival, I believe that all discrepancies will be unified and all clans will become one. A single world order. Here comes the Federation. Anyway. Which, to be fair, is something I kind of agree with. In the future that I envision, all the many lands will become one. That's a stirring belief. It's admirable. I can feel that you truly love this great land. Be it discrimination, war, or disaster, the object of your love has long surpassed an individual or a clan. But if you surpass the extremes of the civilization you belong to, no one will be able to comprehend your love. And that is kind of Teresa's fatal flaw when you think about it. On the contrary, they will loathe you. Do you understand what you will have to go through to reach the future you strive for? I mean, when you think about it, Rhode Island even now is often looked at with disdain by quite a lot of people. If there is no choice but to walk that path, I will gladly do so. Teresa, a Terran. Also, even in the real world, when you think about, say, for example, Star Trek, which deals with the same idea of a unified Earth and, you know, everyone, all lands are one and stuff like that, that series, or rather its creators, got quite a lot of backlash and were investigated and everything. No wonder Calcit trusts you. She willingly took the risk to wake me in order to help you. Right. When every era comes to an end, there are always those who try their hardest to change the tide in the final moments. But most of the time, their stories don't end well. What time is it? Okay. Nevertheless, there is no doubt that you have my admiration. After all, on a certain level, you are very similar to some people that I knew. I see where Calcit got the dialogue from. I will never get to see them again. Perhaps I'll need some more time to get my thoughts in order. But no matter. I think I should listen to what you two have to say first. What do you need me to do? Can you fix this Originium project you kind of messed up with? That I kind of messed up with? That we kind of messed up with? I knew I wasn't the only one that noticed that. I mean, it's sort of my assumption. If we were responsible for creating her, or at the very least her development, then one can suspect that we are the reason she talks the way that she does. Because you tend to talk based on how other people talk, as in the people around you. And she talks a lot, and we certainly seemed to talk a lot before we lost our memories. Doctor, you need rest. Rest is for the weak. I'm fine. I don't need rest, I need answers. Calcit, she's given me lots of surprises, but on top of that, she's given me even more challenges. Sorry, I mean confusion. I still don't have a very good grasp of the Sarkaz language. I saw a lot of unexpected things in her. Surely you did too. I made enemies with her, came to know her, began to understand her wish, and finally admired her responsibility. So I'm guessing that means that Calcit met Teresa on the battlefield when she led that fight against... Well, I don't know if she led the fight, but she was like in the forefront of the soldiers in that one cutscene, so I'm assuming she was pretty big in that. The Black Crown shared with Teresa the long history and experience it bears, and she too slowly gained foresight that no other can attain. I felt perhaps this would be our best chance, with her, with Babel, and with Terra. With Terra. You too are part of this great land now, Calcit. I hope you will take this journey with us too. Right. I envy you, and I trust you, Calcit. But I am just a researcher. Perhaps the help I can offer won't be as significant as you hoped. Oropathy, catastrophe, disasters that we have no methods to resist have been bringing many hardships to these lands. Yet, Terra's technology is almost entirely built upon the foundation that is Originium. Fighting over energy, the discrimination against the infected, and the estrangement between war and races are all further tearing these lands apart. We tried, but our efforts yielded very little. That's because we know practically nothing about Originium. We know nothing about this great land. What happened to the sky and the ocean? Where did the ancient ruins come from? How exactly were we born? We hope you'll be able to find answers for us. Surely, Calcit must already have shared some of these with you. As for Originium, I'm sorry to say that the person I am now can't give you a good answer. At the very least, not an answer to everything. So maybe it was a priestess that made it. When I woke up, I tried to access the logs tracking Originium's progress, but strangely, there was nothing. And this glimpse of terror that you showed me has made me even more confused. The development of Originium has taken a completely different turn from what I expected. I need some time. I need to explore and see this great land for myself. To understand how exactly Originium has influenced culture, life, and environment. How strange that the Originium process tracking module was shut off. Yeah, I don't know. I find it weird. A part of me makes me very suspicious of, like, the priestess. He was kind of scolding her about, you know, going off track in terms of work and all that, so a part of me makes me think that she's sort of like the more mad scientist kind of person. This could take years, perhaps longer, and maybe After an enormous amount of energy is expended, you will receive only a most disappointing answer. I once made a promise to somebody. Thinking about it now, or perhaps all I ever left myself... Oh, all I ever... Yeah? Yeah, perhaps all I ever left of myself or her was regret. That's why I won't make a promise lightly, Calcit. Forgive me. In that case, we will wait. No matter what your answer will be, Babel will last until the day of your return, Doctor. Thank you. Well, sorry, but I'm a little bit hungry. Parts showed me that the land ship has a temporary cafeteria. That it does. But it might be a little messy there. How about I take you? Thank you, Teresa, but no. This place has a special meaning to me too. Let me walk there, slowly, by myself. Okay. Be careful, Doctor. And Calcit lets out a sigh of relief. The awakening has given the Doctor a lot of pressure, but it would seem this one is quick to adapt, and much quicker than I expected. What do you mean this one? Huh? The Doctor wants to learn all there is to learn about Terra. A quick learner too, it seems. If the children were like the Doctor, perhaps they would have the chance to master even more languages and travel to so many places across Terra. Teresa, you should go back and look for the others. There should be plenty of Babel affairs that need the chairman herself to... Teresa? Calcit, there's something bothering me. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I want to tell you. The Doctor seems to be very surprised by the look of Terra as it is today. He once told me that nobody has a better understanding of Originium than the Doctor. The same Doctor who said that the development of Originium took a completely different turn from the expected. Then what should Originium have been? Wow, that's a mouthful. Then what should Originium have been like? What should these lands have been like? What should the Sarkaz have been like? That is the other thing. I do kind of want to know that what Originium was supposed to do. Is the Doctor ready to depart? Right, the Doctor applied for a transport, some defensive weapons and nothing else. The Doctor stated an intent to avoid combat zones. Alright, we'll just abide by the Doctor's wishes. Your Highness, I would like to follow this Doctor of ours. Considering the background involved, I am worried. Ascalon, have you ever left Kazdel? Left? If we count how I once chased a quarry and left the area when I was small, then I most certainly have. That doesn't count. Go follow and protect the Doctor, but do not interfere. I will keep a close eye. No, Ascalon, calm down. I don't want you to keep an eye on anyone. I want you to go out there and see how the people in other lands live. This is a great opportunity. How they live? Outside our homeland, neither war nor suffering is part of people's daily lives. Food, fashion, arts, culture. We could have so much. Many of us know this fact, but even more of us choose to ignore this fact, because most of the time, we don't have the freedom to choose. Don't give me that look, Ascalon. Listen to me. At first, you followed me because you opposed Teresa's measures. But what about after this division is over? What will you do then? What will be the next stop for the countless Sarkaz who share the same idea as you? That's why you need to take a break from the war and see the sights beyond our homeland. See the life that we should have lived. That is your wish? It is. Have a safe trip. I was like, it is, now go! Okay. There is no wrong in busing Ursus, rather. God, I have misread 2 of that sentence. There is no warn. And this is the beginning of the end. Yeah. What time is it? 2 hours? Okay. Dear Council, glad to receive your letter. Hope you and everyone in Babel are well. A couple of months ago I rescued a girl by the name of Amia from a convoy that had met with misfortune. The accident killed her parents and inflicted her with oropathy. Afflicted her, not it. The locals deal with orphan oropathy patients by putting them in a car and driving them into the waste. I had no choice but to take her with me. We have become fellow travellers by chance. You can't imagine my panic and helplessness as I took care of her. Fortunately, a woman who goes by the name of... Oh, really? Okay, blimey. Of Savage has joined our little band, which has helped take some of the burden off me. Big crystal. A shadow leaps out of the dunes in the moonlight. Approaches cautiously. Hey, go away! Don't come any closer. Yo, Cal, I stole a kid. I mean, essentially, yes. Rubs claws excitedly. Why are we speaking in RP speak right now? Moves head in confusion. You seem to have made them even more excited, Amia. Oh my god, small. Don't worry, Doctor. I can deal with this. Mum and Dad taught me how to chase the sand beasts away. All you need to do is imitate the sound of their natural enemies. Really? Chirp, chirp. Pauses in confusion. Wait, that wasn't right. Was it chip chip? Tilts head in confusion. I feel like if there's a kid in a Stephen King novel, that's normally a bad omen. It's still not right. What was it again? Oh, cuckoo, TikTok? The confusion intensifies. That's not right either. It's okay, Amia. I'll take care of this. Gunshots. Sorry, no. The Doctor makes a ring with thumb and index and whistles, producing a strange sound. Oh. Wow, Doctor, that was just like the real thing. Let me try. Amiya presses her tiny hand against her lips, but used too much force and only gets sound out after all the going all red and puffy in the face. The pair of whistles echo across the wastes, sending the sand beast scurrying underground. A child's laughter replaces the whistles. Then, the laughter fades away into silence, and a soft little sigh. Come here, Amiya. Why does Sullen look? The sand beast ran off. I could never remember, even after Mum and Dad taught me so many times, and I couldn't protect you, even though I said I would. Your hand's still wounded. It hasn't fully healed. Don't worry. It doesn't hurt. Anyway, don't you remember? It was you who taught me how to make that sound. I did? You see? Like I told you, your brain slows down and you start to forget things if you don't sleep. I don't want to sleep. I'm scared that I'll dream of those things. But you told me you dream of your parents too. We have some time before our ride gets here. Have a sleep. Can I come closer? When I wake up, the first thing I want to see is you. Of course. Why don't I tell you a few stories while we wait for Savage? Not gonna lie, I thought the letter was going to be Teresa talking because it just sort of sounded a bit more like her, but I think it's quite funny that it was us. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there was a really smart scientist. Her home was in danger, and she made a difficult choice to protect it and the people around her. Immediately. Like, damn, okay, fuck. Doctor, I found a vehicle. We'll be able to go to the next... Shh, she's sleeping. Cave. Well, tunnel. Dear Calcit, I was glad to find signs of life wherever I went. This should be an unfamiliar world, yet there are times when it feels incredibly familiar. I recall the legends that had fascinated me in the past, never failing to capture my imagination despite their age. The ancient machines that had rumbled in the mines and dust once again roam these lands. Stories can become reality, and the reality we see becomes stories. You can come over, Amiya. No need to keep poking your head out from there. Are you drawing, Doctor? Am I interrupting? Of course not. Take a look. Is it good? It's the mining truck we just drove together. I've been drawing lots of our experiences. Have you driven a mining truck before? Even the old miners can't go as fast as you did. I've seen many amazing vehicles before. Like Originium slug eggs, but much larger. Once I drove one of them. And went through the bridge between stars. Oh, okay. He's talking about like a spherical spaceship, I'm guessing. The bridge between stars? It's always dark at night, so it must have been really dark. Was it dangerous? No. Guides stand by the bridge, borrowing glowing clouds from the old stars. and making round mirrors out of them. Follow the path the mirrors show, and we can see the spires fading in and out of the clouds, and the crown of flowers worn by the stars on the other side of the bridge. When we descend on the crown, you will find that it belongs to good children like you. It's a really, really big playground. A playground? I've read about them in the stories. There are lots of children there. Do you want to play with other children? No, I just want to play with you, Doctor. You'll make more friends as you grow up. As I grow up. What's the most amazing vehicle you've ever driven? The most amazing? Well, I spent a very long time with it. Very long indeed. Was there anyone else with you? In the beginning, yes. In the end, though, I was alone. I'm assuming you're referring to Rhode Island. But it's alright. I was sleeping. I slept for a very long time. Take me with you next time. That way, I can keep you company and you won't have to sleep all day. Why are you laughing, Doctor? That's a big promise to make. Are you sure? You'll have your own journey, your vision, your future, and you... Oh, are you sure you want to be with me? But they all say that there's no future for people with rocks in them. On them. Same thing. So, I'll always be with you. We'll have a future, Amia. How's Amia doing? Still not great? Still a bit of a fever. Maybe neuropathy complications from all the excitement. Hard to find neuropathy meds around these parts. She acts like it's nothing during the day, but keeps having nightmares. Poor girl. Every survivor of that accident was infected, no exceptions. How long does it take for neuropathy to progress in a child her age? It's different for everyone. Some disintegrate the day after developing acute symptoms. Some suffer for more than a decade of misery. But the end is always the same. Neuropathy. Is there anyone in the world who can cure it? The world? Oh, you mean Terra? Our great land? Man, you sound like one of those old scholars. I didn't know you had a sense of humour. Oh god, do they think the Earth is flat as well, or something? Wait, you're serious? I'm afraid not. It's impossible. It does kind of make me wonder, though, if there are other lands beyond the one continent. Because if we're going to go on the assumption that the world is round, then there should be a whole other part. And yes, it could be a Pangea, but still, you know, who knows? Alternatively, if this really is a created world, then who knows? It might be round, it might be flat. I'm afraid not. It's impossible. I need it to be possible. People couldn't imagine nomadic cities a few centuries ago, could they? I'll find a way, before her symptoms deteriorate. It may be hard, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. Say it to Rim Billy, and they'll think you're making fun of them. I mean, their star map is completely incomprehensible, so maybe. You know, the planet is donut-shaped. You never fail to surprise me, but I just can't help but believe in you. Is that the charm of being smart? Come on, Charlotte. I meant you, Never mind. What? Oh, I meant... Can't you tell? There's something about you. Something that lets everyone know that you're different from us. Amiya senses it. Children are more sensitive than we know. Is it that obvious? She's strong. She doesn't show her sadness in front of you. She wants you to see her joy. She doesn't want to be a burden to you. She's trying to take care of you. You became the only pillar in her life the day you saved it. But she knows you were never supposed to cross paths. She's afraid that you'll abandon her too. Don't worry, I won't leave her. Now that's the spirit. I knew you would say that. Dear Calcit, I thought that I would never be more a passing visitor in this place, one history would never remember. This intentional isolation made me forget reality. I'm here, on Terra, this great land. I don't know what made me feel it, but the warmth of life coming from a child's palm stings my heart and makes it burn. Okay, wax poetic like you're from the 1800s. This is... jerky and fruit. Left here on purpose. They know I'm here. Always inscrutable. That's amazing. Dear Calcit, I'm planning to take Amiya back to Babel. Savage has done her best to find medicine for Amiya, but my ability to treat Amiya's oropathy is limited under present conditions. I know that Amiya isn't special, by any objective standard. I know that Babel faces a crisis no less complicated, but I've decided to bring her back. I met many people along the way. I've fretted over money at times, benefited from people's generosity at others. And I've seen new things, even some that surprised me for the first time in a long while. The convoy that we were travelling with broke down. We found a herder to guide us through the wilderness of Rimbilliton. On the backs of burden beasts, to the rumbling of drills and engines. Good boy, good boy. Are we really not going to Yan, Doctor? We're going somewhere else, to cure your sickness. But there's no cure for oropathy. There's no such thing as an impossible puzzle, Amiya. There's a place called Babel, where people I trust are working hard to fight this disease. Let's work with them. Will I have to spend a long time there? Some time at least. But don't worry, there'll be a lot of people with you, caring for you. I'll be there too. Doctor, do we really have to go? Lots of sick kids went away to get treated, but no one came back. Probably because they weren't sent to get treated. Oropathy doesn't hurt at all. I promise I'll be good, Doctor. Right, Savage? Yes, Amiya has always been a good girl. Are you sure you don't want to rethink this, Doctor? Billies deal with Originium every day. We know what oropathy can do. Stay here in Rimbilliton, and at least we can give her a home. Maybe that's more important than the cold walls of a laboratory. A home. You have a point, but I just can't stand by and watch Originium hurt her. I have an obligation. Amiya, I promise you I'll do my best to cure you, no matter what happens. Doctor... Savage does have a point though, and Babel is a place that's not entirely safe. You can stay with Savage if you don't want to leave Rimbilliton. I'm sorry to force this decision on you at such a young age, but you're a strong girl, and we'll respect your choice. The doctor's right, Amiya. No need to knee-jerk an answer. Think carefully about it. I trust you, Doctor. I want to have a future. I want to grow up, read books with you, travel with Savage. It's just... I'm a little scared. Thank you, Amiya. The doctor pats Amiya's head, then picks her up and climbs onto the burden beast. They've hardly sat down when the ground begins to shake, stirring up clouds of dust. Oh. What's going on? Underneath our feet. Must be a deep digger. It's spooking the burden beasts. Watch out. Stay, boy. Stay. Whoa. Whoa. Hang in there, Doctor. Doctor! Oh yeah, no, I've seen that map. It's sort of like a wall of ice, but there's some versions of the map where there are lands that extend outwards from it, which is also really cool. I mean, it's like a complete whack job conspiracy behind it, but it's really cool. The burden beast rears up on its hind legs, gives a loud cry, then charges forward. The rest of the pack follows. Uh-oh. Oh, that was loud. They run towards a shallow shoal, splashing water everywhere. It is all the doctor can do to grab the fur on the back of the burden beast and hang on for dear life. Amiya's eyes are wide open in the chaos. With one hand on the burden beast, she stretches out the other towards the doctor. Grab my hand, Doctor! I have to get them to... Whoa! Hang on, it's speeding up. I'm trying. Hang in there, Doctor. I'm coming. Hurry! The way the entire image just falls into the corner. What? In the end, I was thrown from the back of the burden beast into the water. My hindquarters and back burned with pain, and I gagged on water rushing into my nose. But it also made me feel like I was truly living on this land, after spending almost half a year travelling across it. I heard the sound of my life surging. No, that's just the water rushing out your ears. Ah, Jakku. Sorry. Summer. 1091. Kasdel. No more messenger stations from here on. Villages become sparse, and bandits become frequent. I'm afraid we have to part ways here, Savage. Why? The region ahead is in turmoil. You'll be in danger if mercenaries spot you. You and Amiya will be in danger too, won't you? I'll be fine. I've come this far. I'll see your journey through to the end. Charlotte. Thank you. The Cortis's ears quiver at the mention of her real name. She glances at the doctor. A few months is neither long nor short. True, it comprised only a tiny part of her lifetime, but it was also a span of a few hundred days, filled with countless unforgettable experiences. Uh-oh. Under the setting sun, before the sand beasts, beneath the eaves, upon this land. She had enjoyed the journey, even if she never fully understood her quiet companion, and the many strange and curious ideas the companion had. The courtier who goes by the name of Savage sighs. What can she do? She is not as smart as the doctor. Will you come and visit Savage? Of course. The doctor said Babel's new base is being worked on by Billy engineers, right? Maybe we'll see each other again soon. Then, I'll be waiting for you, Savage. Good girl, Amia. Now though, I need to figure out how to take you and the doctor through the wilderness. You and Amia stay here and rest for a while, Doctor. I'll see if the transport hub ahead has any good vehicles for hire. Doctor. Whoa! Do we have time to say goodbye? The longer we stay here, the more dangerous it gets. The quarters girl seems rather determined. It's better for both of you to part ways here. I suppose you're right. We won't wait for Savage? Sometimes, Amia, we have to do bad things for good reasons. We don't want Savage to be in danger, do we? But she doesn't want to leave you. Oh, hello, Cal. Hope you're doing well. Oh god, it's getting quite soon. I might be a bit... It's rude to leave without saying goodbye, but that way, Savage won't face danger. I promise. We'll get to see her again. Can I leave a note for Savage? She'll be worried if she comes back to find us gone. Good thinking. Go ahead and write one. Okay. Her Highness wants to meet with you, alone. Are things not going well? How's Calcit? Now is not the time. We'll leave once the girl has written her note. Alright. Can we trouble you with the note? Certainly. I'll leave it where she's sure to see it. Okay. We're now at the fighting bit. Okay, we have a decent amount of time. It could probably be about 20 minutes. Oh, big boy.
Well, I don't think I'll even remember your faces after this one.
I love them.
Anyway, let's just get started.
I don't care how annoying they're going to be. I love them. It's a little gremlin on top of a big boy who has a fucking spatula. I love this.
Honor must be defended.
I'm here to help.
They're going to be high defense, aren't they?
Whew. We're counting on you again today, little apple. Got it.
Hey, there we go. I was hoping it would be like that.
I'll take the lead. The rest is up to you.
Oh, there was going to be a thing there.
Here.
Oh shit, I got Chimera. I should have had the other thing.
Whew. I gather around it, guys.
No.
Now's the time to help everyone out.
Oh, it's ranged. Okay. I'm glad I didn't move the person to where I thought I was going to move them originally.
I won't be afraid. I'm so away from me, please.
Okay, they didn't seem too bad, besides being very tanky.
Serious now.
I wish I had Amir on a different skill, though. Oh, that was more health than before. Okay, still not too bad.
We're counting on you again today, little
I imagine they're going to be a pain later on in the future. Like when there's loads of them or something. So I may want to have like an AoE. Maybe what's her face, Chen, if it's really that bad. There we go.
I'm so tired. Get away from me, please.
There it is. Can I afford to? Yeah, I'm going to.
I hear someone crying.
I don't know if it's going that way. Okay, it is. Oh my god, okay, they go through. Okay. Who died? Oh, Amir. Okay, so they have a high blockage, don't they? That's what it is. Either that or they just go through anyone anyway. It's one of the two. Oh, it's unblockable. Okay, completely unblockable. Okay, that's going to be annoying. Oh, but the chains hurt them. Okay, that's interesting. So a mix of the chains, AoE, high damage, maybe Chen. Autumn, 1091. Rhodes Island of Babel, Casdell. How's progress, Closure? The last thing I need is another core system control failure. Well, since you had to bring it up, I might have run into a little problem. Even with the tricks you taught me, the encryption methods used by many of Part's programs are almost incomprehensible to a normal brain, and my decoder isn't fully compatible yet. We may not be able to shut the system down before the Doctor arrives on the ship. Try again. If you're not confident about getting it done, then we'll go to the contingency plan, cutting off power to the entire ship. Leave it to me. Seems like you're still keeping a lot of secrets, though. I've never seen anyone make you so nervous. That's not important. What's important is making sure nothing happens to the ship. Ascalon's report says the Doctor looks like an ordinary person. Pretty decent one, too. Who picked up a stray little tortoise and carried her all across the land. Do we really have to be so on edge? It's not the Doctor that I fear. Then what is it? You don't need to know yet. Wipe the Doctor's boarding records. This is for the safety of both the Doctor and Babel. The others don't need to know that the Doctor exists until the Doctor and Teresa have reached a conclusion. I'm guessing that's where the Ghost of Babel bit comes in, where this is just this person here with no documents. Alright, I'll work on it. Oh, I'll work at it. But I wonder why you seem to care a lot about this doctor, at the same time that you're so on guard over the whole thing. I've got it. The doctor must have dirt on you. Don't bother, you won't find it. Come on, why so serious? What about the girl? Same conclusion, no change. I cross-checked all relevant Rimbilliton records and had scout check with informants in the military commission. Amia's background comes through clean. Her parents were killed when the convoy transporting the laser mining module got attacked. The attack itself was purely coincidental. No one knew they were transporting Sarkaz-related cargo, and a military commission wasn't involved. She must have gotten infected in the mess. If not for the doctor, she'd be spending the rest of her life suffering in Rimbillington. I keep saying Billington, but it's Billiton. I'll handle the girl's examination and treatment once she's on board. You're still concerned about her? Yes, I am. She's too young, and she hasn't had proper treatment since contracting neuropathy. Oh, that kind of concerned. I don't want the doctor's kindness to be the reason for delaying her treatment. Plus, Teresa would call her a gentle child who has the right to choose her future. Amia. Let me sleep. Where are we? Doctor? Doctor? The doctor's here. Wake up, sleepyhead. You're almost home. Home? In her half-awake state, Amia feels a warm fingertip brush her cheek. That tickles. Don't do that. Whoa. Who are you? I'm Teresa. Teresa, the doctor talked about you. Oh, what did the doctor say? I don't remember. I was having a great carrot cake at the time, though. Of course. Teresa should smell nice. Be really warm and sweet. What about now? Is she as you imagined her? Yeah, smells good. Warm and sweet. Doesn't smell like carrots, though. Not fully awake, I see. Will you come home with us, Amia? Home? Yeah, okay. Go for something real quick. Okay. Outside Rhode Island of Babel, Casdell. The tiny quarter sleeps soundly in Teresa's arms, leaning against her neck. She pats Amia on the back and turns towards the doctor, who is clearly tired. Thank you, Teresa. I didn't expect you to come pick us up personally. Looks like you're not quite all-knowing, Doctor. You have much to learn when it comes to childcare, at least. Sure enough. You look different from when you left, Doctor. How was your journey? I saw a lot and learned a lot. There are plenty of interesting things on this great land. I also met Amia. It was a miracle that I was able to save her. Amia, she's even cuter than your letters said. Poor girl, but fortunate in some way. Her condition is getting worse. I need to bring her in for treatment. How has Babel been in the time I was away? Not quite smooth sailing. We have a lot to deal with, but not everything needs to be handled right away. You must be tired after your journey. Get some rest. Thank you, Teresa. Amia, We're home. Doctor, did I fall asleep? Oh, Amia, you're awake. You were trying to cross the border, sorry. Why didn't you come down? Teresa will get tired if she has to keep holding you. Amia nods and jumps down from Teresa's arms. Will you hold my hand, Amia? Doctor? It's alright. Teresa's my friend. You can trust her. You'll be spending a lot of time with her from now on. Okay. Is this Babel? Yes. So big. Even bigger than those mining plates. So this where you used to live? I spent a long time here. A very long time. Is this your home? Yes, Samia. This is the doctor's home. Right, Doctor? Yes. It's your home now, too. Will you let us help the doctor take care of you? All right. I'll go wherever the doctor does. Ah. I love that shift from like, wow, hopeful, and then suddenly it's just sort of like, boom. For a moment, I thought it was about to play like the song that plays when you go onto the elevator in Amnesia and Machine for Pigs. Like, you know, the big sort of I can't remember what it is, if it's like a trombone or something. They step onto the elevator, and the Babel logo appears before their eyes. The heavy door opens to welcome them in. Sensing Amia's unease, Teresa puts her hands on her shoulders. Yeah, I'll be on knees, and I'm an adult. What's behind the door? People waiting to welcome you and the doctor. Are you sure about taking me and the girl in, Teresa? Why shouldn't I be? I'm glad to have more people calling Babel their home. Many here don't know you, though, so I'm sure you'll be busy for the next few days. How should I present myself? Good question. You should talk to Calcit first. She's been waiting for you. Tell her your concerns, your questions, and the secrets in your heart. That'll make her fall for you. Sorry, that's just what it sounded like. She would be very sad if you didn't. You could have... If you really want the King of Sarkas to reveal the thoughts that you're loath to tell, I will. But I can feel you're still wavering. Let's go, Amia. Doctor. We'll go to her. Yes, you must now meet your long-distance girlfriend. Or wife, I suppose. I know they're technically not, but I still, like many people, I like to joke about it. Just don't mention the new girlfriends you made along the way. Amia. You're Amia, aren't you? Yes. Calcit crouches down and gives the girl a candy. Typical doctor. Thank you for protecting the doctor throughout your journey, Amia. Thank you, Dr. Calcit. Will you fetch Teresa? We need to do some checks on you. Will they hurt? A little, but the doctor's letters called you a brave girl. Technically disgruntled daughter. Yeah, I know, it's going to be weird now talking about ex-wife when that might not really, when it might be more of a family thing. I mean, I don't know if well, I suppose technically the priestess created her by the sounds of it. What involvement the doctor had, I'm not sure. I'm sure the closure had enough time to booby trap our quarters thoroughly. Will the doctor be with me? Of course. The doctor has some things to do first, though. The irony isn't lost on the people who said those things. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's a Greek tragedy. It's alright, Amia. Just wait for me here in the ward, and I'll be back very soon. Okay. You'll need a full checkup later too, Doctor. Alright. Doctor. Yes? Do you plan on leaving again? No, I think I've travelled enough. If you've made up your mind, I'll respect your decision. If nothing else, you're concerned about Amia's health, even though she was a complete stranger to you. There's no fundamental difference between these new lives and us. I'm glad. Glad that you chose hope in the end. Welcome back, Doctor. How's Amia? Blood Originium levels are high. Currently available inhibitors are not sufficient to stabilize her condition. We need to develop new drugs. I need time and resources. Babbles are yours to use, Doctor. We're happy to share our research on oropathy with you. That dialogue is concerning. What can I help you and Calcit with in exchange? This is not a transaction. It's one of the core missions of Babel, to do everything in our power to help everyone suffering from Originium. Since the day that Calcit woke you up, I was convinced that you would help with all of this, just as you helped Amia. Thank you. Now, perhaps I have a chance to ask you this question, Doctor. How do you view this land, Terra? I don't think it's my place to judge. There's no such thing as superior or inferior civilizations. It took a long and hard journey for Terra to evolve to where it is today. Add to that the sick joke that Originium has played on life. You said that Originium did not develop the way you expected. It wasn't supposed to bring such suffering. Mumbles. I sense that you are keeping secrets, but there's nothing false about the sorrow coming from deep within your heart. The sorrow that I cannot understand. I want to fix this mistake, but perhaps I'm powerless to do so. At the end of the day, civilization largely progress in smaller ways. It all comes to an inevitable endpoint. However bright its light shines at its peak. But Calcit said you didn't give up hope, even in your final days. I had many friends, even in those last days, who faced difficulties far greater than you can imagine. With courage and hope that is every bit your equal. But they failed and faded away without exception. We haven't known each other that long, Teresa. I want to know, why do you do all this? What is the end that Babel seeks in compromising with the military commission? There's something I want to show you, Doctor. We're to ask you about Originium sooner or later. That's why Calcit woke you up. Please, come and see the results of my brief time at work. A catastrophe. We're almost there. This place is barren, even by the standards of a catastrophe-heavy region. But Closure has spent time and effort to maintain this dangerous little trail. A forked trail in the midst of Originium formations. You're not keeping any fewer secrets than I am, Teresa. A king of Sarkaz has to have a few secrets, right? Don't tell anyone what you see here. The entire world is seeing now. Oh. I like how, even though the magic or the arts is different, it's all stemming from her fingers or the rings like it does with Amia afterwards. A long trek through the Originium-filled wastelands leads to a small garden. In the heart of a catastrophe, amidst the ruins, on a nameless plain that neither night nor the stars can find. Tiny white specks mark this little sanctuary, which she has now trampled all over, from the rest of the world and the wild lands around it. Even the winds seem softer here. It is a forgotten greenhouse that harkens back to the time in the distant past when the land was still pure and untainted. Like when man stole fire from up above and lit up a corner of the night sky. That Sargon creation myth seems to have played in. Teresa picks up a white flower. This place represents the cutting edge of Babel's and my research into Originium. Flowers? No, Originium. I'm sure you understand, it's not Originium arts that made these flowers bloom. The information inherent in Originium, the reversal of the assimilated universe. The what now? You've already come this far. When did... No race understands Originium better than the Sark has. Still, what we know is merely the tip of the iceberg compared to the entirety of Originium. Even with Calcit helping us understand the nature of Originium, the furthest we have gone is transforming a palm-sized piece of active Originium into this. Garden. Hope. See, I've always figured that Originium contains information, but I didn't think you could actually like port it over into the real world, so to speak. Like maybe at best you could access it on a computer, but I didn't expect like this. This little flower is my small contribution. I need your help, Doctor. I want to see the day when flowers cover the cliffs and valleys of Kasdel and all the lands beyond. It's a future worth taking risks for. I suppose it's kind of like storing data of like a gene sequence, for example. So you could essentially save everything from before and then use it. Maybe that's the reason Originium grows as well, because it keeps taking in new information, and in order to continue storing that information it has to grow, and that's why Originium spreads. And as it takes on form from organic material and stuff as well, it's translating that information, which is why it seems to grow in the body. And that's where it's growing from. It's actually breaking down the components, you know, cells and all that, and transfers that into a different form. So that's why it seemingly comes from nothing, because it isn't coming from nothing. It's coming from literally everything around it. It's a growing archive of information. But I'm assuming what went wrong is the growth. I'm assuming the reason why it's become an issue is because it's the fact that it's self-replicating means that it has to keep storing information. It has to keep growing to store that new information, and it's sort of cascaded into a runabout issue where it just keeps on eating and eating, so to speak, so you end up with this grey goo of Originium instead of what it was probably supposed to be, which was most likely like a storage crystal, like in all those sci-fi stuff, you know, where you use crystals as like a USB and whatever. I guess that's what he means by it's taken a different path to what they expected it. I guess he probably didn't expect it to grow and consume in this way. More like infected by the Originium virus, crystals like the old rebels from Stargate. Kind of. Yeah, those crystals that then grow into tunnels. But no, I think it's more like information pieces, so more like I think also in Stargate, but the Asgard, I think they used sort of like glass or crystal. Oh no, the Golds also used them as well. They used sort of like cylindrical crystals, whereas the Asgard used like square-shaped crystals. Or maybe that was the Ancients. Anyway, the point is, that's what I'm assuming Originium was supposed to be, a crystalline storage of information. And maybe that's where the Ark in Arknights comes from as well. Or the power cells from Stargates. Oh yeah, the 0-point energy. Although I think that's different. No, that's a completely different beast, because that's an energy source more so than anything else. Interesting. You've seen how Kasdel has been mired in war for its entire history, Doctor. Right now, at least, I want to use the power of Originium to create a home for Kasdel where people can live in peace, safe from war and invasion. In the more distant future, if we are able to fully harness it, we'll be able to change the entire face of Terra. If catastrophes don't bring rain or Originium, but soft, fluffy clouds. If the infected no longer suffer the pain of rocks growing out of them. I don't suppose there's anyone who would have such an absurd dream. Was that wooden? Oh no, yeah, that was wood. You're different from the other Sarkas, Teresa. Flowers that cover the entire land. What a picture of life that would be. Doctor? Why? Why this flower? Oh, there's no particular reason. I just happened to come across it outside the valley when I was looking for a good place for my experiments. I wonder if that flower is significant to him. A pure coincidence. Calcit said it has a name. Snow in Summer? But it's adapted to changes over the years. Perhaps we could give it a new name. What do you think, Doctor? Wait, what's wrong? Who's bugging out? My stream is healthy. Oh, okay. You think Frostnova and Crider can be ported from Originium 2? I don't know. I don't know how much of it is required. I don't know what kind of information Originium would take. It's possible, but I feel like the most you'd be able to do would clone. You'd be able to take the gene sequence and make a person, but it won't be the same person. It would just be, well, yeah, it would be like a clone. Look like them, maybe even think like them to a certain extent, but then whatever experiences they have will, unless the Originium has stored their memories somehow, then maybe if you could piece it all together, you could bring back a person at least up to the point of their death, or at least up to the last bit of information stored in Originium before their death. But then we also don't know how information is transferred in Originium. If it is stored, does every piece of Originium contain all the information? Or is the specific information that you put into the Originium only exists within the Originium in your body? If that Originium is then destroyed and dispersed, does that mean that information is lost forever? Or is it one big collective archive? And that every single piece of Originium is a node that sends it off? I have no way of knowing. I'm assuming that information isn't known. If it is, then in theory you could bring back anyone, at least up to the last moment that their memory was stored, assuming that it can store people's memories. Otherwise it would just be a flat clone, like Dolly the sheep. Although, to be fair, they also said this one when they were talking about the Doctor, which seems a bit weird because it implies that there's more than one Doctor, which didn't make sense. A new path is opening up. I don't like it when they do that. A path to self-destruction. It is called in a simulated universe. Yeah. The thing is, whatever happens to the world, the galaxy, however big the society is before this. Originium isn't the issue. Well, it is, but Originium was supposed to be a solution, or at least a stopgap. So I'm still wondering if the assimilated part of the assimilated universe has anything to do with the Originium, or if it's something else, if something else was assimilating. I mean, for all we know, it could be like strange matter or something, which would literally assimilate the universe if it ever escapes a neutron star. Which is a scary thought. Look into it if you wish to stay up at night. Can you hear me, Teresa? I'm listening. I was giving the doctor a tour of our urgent news from Casdell. It concerns Victoria. Oh, well, okay. And I shall now leave you all on a cliffhanger.
But we still can't let our guard down.
Oh, there's the... Oh, I think Originium functions with a hive mind that shares information, or it wouldn't mess with signals otherwise. That is a good point, because it does give out signals, it does give out waves. So that there's probably some form of wireless communication there between itself. So that would mess with signals. That would essentially count as a... Although it's weird that no one's ever been able to create something that goes over that. Because in the real world, there's loads of things that causes interference, but we've made stuff that's been able to supersede that. So, you know, it's kind of strange. That bit's strange. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that at some point. I might do it towards the end of this event. Well, to be fair, it was supposed to start at 8, not 8:30, so you would have still missed 30 minutes. But yeah, that would be interesting how that's going to work. But yeah, like it is strange though, because you would think that they would have been able to have counted the signals that come out from Originium that messes with everything. You'd think at this point it'd be considered background noise, background radiation, and you'd be able to work around it, which is what we've had to do with loads of things that originally used to really mess with radio communication. So I wonder if the signal fluctuates, maybe if it's more of like, not necessarily living, but maybe living, in which case it would have a more chaotic, more random pattern, and that you wouldn't be able to do. It'd be like a, oh, I've forgotten the word of it now. You know, like in electronic warfare where you mess, yeah, like a jammer. It'd be like a living jammer. You wouldn't be able to change it because it's constantly changing itself, so you wouldn't be able to make a signal that goes over it. But you know, it's an interesting thing. I am thoroughly fixed on this. Also, hello still. You've kind of come in at an inopportune time. Because I am just about wrapping up. But you know, I am really liking this event. I am probably, yeah, no, I am entirely like almost obsessive of this new information about Originium now. Like, it was just a massive like dump of sudden information. I'm like, whoa, I can't process all this. So I'm reading it, got too busy with uni. Okay. Originium is the end product of a civilization that thinks the powers in the other solar system are cute. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it here now. So tomorrow it looks like we're going to be playing Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion, because overwhelming vote for that. Like, wow. I expected that one to win, but I didn't expect it to be such a big vote. But I am going to leave it a little bit until tomorrow anyway before setting it up, just in case. Because I know sometimes it takes a while for people to see the community posts. So I want to make sure to give it enough time just in case. Just not many likes the alternative? I suppose not, no. I expected it to be a little bit more, get a little bit more interest though. That was the surprising thing. Because, like, I expected Spooky's House of Jump Scares to win, but I didn't expect it to be such a large margin, was the thing. I was expecting it to be more like 2/3 versus a third, that sort of split, but there was a vote. Yeah, it's on the community tab. It's between Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion and Squad, Galactic Contention, which is a Star Wars mod. There's still time. At the moment it's looking like it's going to win, but anyone who still wants to vote, they can still go on there. The poll hasn't finished. The polls never really end on YouTube. There's no time limit. So I'm still going to give it basically until the end of work to decide, and obviously I'll go with whatever. I'll be doing both streams anyway. It's just this week will be whichever wins, which is going to be Spooky for Spooky Season. Yes, exactly. But that's the general plan. I might also stream something on Sunday as well, I'm not sure. It'll either be more Arknights or it will be the whichever one didn't win. So we'll see how it goes. Until then though, thank you guys so much for hanging around, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.